So obviously, we know that phase 3 is now pushed back. All right, cool. We're still getting the live stream development updates. We just had the April one. We'll be talking about that soon. But I'm curious to know, is everything currently happening going to be enough until we get to phase 3? And when I say everything, I mean we have the fresh start coming, right? We have the other updates that we recently spoke about. Those are coming as well. Is that going to be enough for the community until we get to phase 3? And the people that are engaging right now, are they going to be excited even when that time comes? So the first thing that I really want to talk about is, what is the pushback going to do to the community? A lot of people have been waiting for phase 3, and rightfully so, because phase 3 is going to be the most complete the alpha has ever been. And we understand that pushbacks, delays happen because this is how game development goes, but I think Ashes of Creation has always been in a very special spot when it comes to this topic. And I think this is due to the scope of the game. The game literally has to perform. It has to, because if it doesn't, people are gonna say, haha, we told you it was a scam. And if it does perform, people are gonna say, well, you know what, where were they 10 years ago? But even if we go back to August of last year, when they initially pushed back the Alpha 2, I think that's when a lot of negativity started to creep into people. A lot of people that were in the community were losing faith. So now, what happens leading up to the biggest phase? There are already people that are saying they're gonna quit. They've been following the project for years and now they're finally done. And to be honest with you, I think people are just tired of the pushbacks happening. I think people would rather tune in for a banger live stream development update every few months or so with no date in sight. Just let us know when things are done. Because when you put a date on something and you're not able to fulfill that promise, that's going to weaken the community trust. And I respect that Steven says every stream things are subject to change, and that is fine, but I think we also have to understand that a majority of people don't really care about that. If we're just being honest, dude, you can sit here and say, hey, you're gonna go outside, the sun's gonna be hot, and people are mad that they go outside and the sun is hot. I think it's tough trying to cater to your fan base and at the same time trying to make the biggest MMO of all time. Some things are gonna be missing at some point. But we know this is why they do the live stream development updates, to let us know what is going on, right? I think with the pushback happening, the biggest thing that we're going to have to look forward to is the periodic updates that we get on whatever it may be. And this is why the live stream development updates are great. But on the other hand, I know they haven't been the most exciting lately. Before the launch of phase 2, Intrepid could show us every single last thing that they were working on because we hadn't experienced it yet. So whatever we saw, chances are we were gonna take it in, even if it was a filler stream. But now that we have access to the game, it's almost like we don't care as much. And I still tune in to watch the live stream development updates because I want to know what's going on. But I also understand that a majority of people don't really care about pocket dungeons or just watching some arbitrary gameplay. So what do the next 3 months look like in terms of live stream development updates? I personally think a summoner class reveal would go crazy, just like they did with the rogue. That would be heat. We have the Tonar, underwater combat, castles, pets, aerial combat, and so much freaking more, dude. So we know the content is coming, we just have to wait for it to come. I do think the live streams have been a bit more quiet on purpose, but it's because they're setting us up for something. So I'm really hoping that this summer we can see that setup finally pay off. And look, I love pocket dungeons. I think it's dope. I love any new content that we get, but I think in terms of hyping up the community and just bringing us all together to kind of rally us together for this one last hurrah is the way to go. I think back to the fighter showcase. After that live stream, we were all super hype. After the Node Siege live stream, we were all super hype. After the Bard reveal, I thought that was lit. A lot of people thought it was a really good take on the Bard. So I'm just really hoping we can get back to that. For a long time and for a lot of us, The live stream development updates is exactly how we found out about Ashes of Creation. That's exactly what brought us into the community. I think the last point here isn't something we can necessarily figure out at this moment. We're gonna have to wait until the launch of Phase 3. I think the delivery of Phase 3 needs to be astronomical. With this being the last phase before we go into betas, whenever that is, this phase has to be the best of the three. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Well, the general consensus of Phase 2 is that it was just Phase 1, but 1.5. I think with all of the updates that we're getting, with everything they want to launch in Phase 3, it should be easy for it to stand alone from the prior two. Now, with the pushback, we would think that Phase 3 should launch with everything that they're saying it's going to launch with. But if it doesn't, I genuinely do believe this can be seen as the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people that have been continuously testing and showing up weekend after weekend during Phase 1, week after week in Phase 2, and waiting it out for Phase 3. Because when you think about it, a lot of those people experience the exploiters, the cheating, they experienced all of those things. So for them to go into Phase 3, and I don't want to say with nothing changed, but with not the best experience that it could be, that is going to have a huge effect on their experience. So again, I say this, does the pushback suck? Of course it sucks. We want to play, we want to get the updates, X, Y, Z, got it. With this amount of time that they have, this joint better be lit when it drops, for a lack of a better term. So we got some really quick breaking news. Ashes recently updated the post talking about the server merging, the wipe, all that stuff. Let's take a quick look at it. So merge test system, that was yesterday, cool, out the way. But here's the thing, today's May 1st. Now this is the transition to realm stress testing. Beginning May 1st, we will shift to focused realm stress testing for the remainder of Phase 2. A fresh start realm, Shoal, US East will become available for all testers, with access expected to open around the normal time. Shoal will follow our normal 5+ day testing schedule, but the transition, Resna, Lotharia will be taken offline to concentrate efforts on stress testing Shoal. All users will need to create new characters, while additional realms may be added later if needed. There are currently no plans to bring others online during this period. So we knew we were getting a fresh start, but this seems like a wipe, like a drop of the dime. Hey, I don't want to say last minute decision, but last minute decision wipe. We're all gonna be on one huge server. So that is going to be very interesting. We are gonna get a ton of drama. And I don't know. I will say though, I'm not sure how many people they're gonna get that are gonna want to level to 25 yet again with the realms wiping in 3 months, right? Maybe they don't even care about the leveling. Maybe it's just, hey, we just want to jam pack it in again. They want to stress test, right? Maybe it is just that. But nah, it's finna be crazy. And then here we know we're getting a wipe, but that's been changed as well. August 4th, potential wipe for Phase 3. So really quick, to support meaningful testing and ensure the integrity of our data collection, a full character and progression wipe may occur at the start of Phase 3 on August 4th, 2025. If needed, this wipe would apply that to all active realms to ensure testing accurately reflects updates to systems, balance, and optimizations. A final decision is still under evaluation based on testing data and upcoming system changes, but we want to provide early notice so players are aware of the possibility. Okay, that's interesting as well, because what's happening to the servers that we were just on? Are they gone? Is my Vira Bard gone? Right? I think Shoal is the future, y'all. I think we're gonna be on Shoal until August 4th. But it looks like Shoal is gonna be, from my understanding, it looks like we're all just gonna be on Shoal. Everything has gotten wiped because we're transitioning to stress tests. So we're all on the fresh start. I don't know if they're gonna be bringing those old realms back, I would imagine not, right? If we're gonna be here to August 4th, it's like, hey, that old viral realm, we're gonna bring it back up. So it looks like we're on show for the foreseeable future. It's funny because I was working on another video and this came up, but I think this is something that will hugely affect the community, right? I don't know how people are gonna take it. That's gonna be interesting to see. I think this is just another point in what I'm saying in terms of affecting the community. I think it is a lot, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad or a good thing. I think it's just something that we're gonna have to get accustomed to, because this isn't something that we've really experienced. I really do think we're just at a very tough point in the testing cycle right now, and that comes along with testing the game. But I don't think a lot of people always understand that, or even care to understand that at times. It's, you put a product in front of people, they want the product to be good. And that's fair. I'm just not sure how long people are willing to stick around, right? There's been a lot of positives, but there's also been some negatives. But like I've said, if phase 3 is some gas and they're like, yo, we've been holding out for the past 2 phases to bring you guys everything we're about to show you right now, all is forgiven. All is forgiven. Good content is gonna give you a nice clean slate and people aren't gonna care. But we have to get there first. What are your thoughts though on how the pushback of phase 3 will affect the community for Ashes of Creation? Please let your boy know in the comment section below. I'm still playing with my homies every time we're allowed to get on in, so come rock out with us, man. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.